Hey Tube, Mark here. Lawnboyspost1975 actually asked a very interesting question, and that's if you enjoy games as an adult, whether or not you enjoy games as an adult as much as you did as a child. I think it does differ. It's different, more different, and I don't think it's as enjoyable because you can't lose yourself in the same manner or fashion as you did as a child. And perhaps it is because as an adult your world is a lot bigger. Real life gets in the way, and it's easier to put things in perspective and relate to things differently. I think being an adult is less intense in a way. You don't get as enthusiast and not a native speaker here, but you get the drift. I don't think you get as enthusiastic about things, smaller things, as an adult and then as a child. Perhaps it also has to do with the number of life experiences or the amount of time that you actually lived. Because as a child, a Saturday afternoon could actually feel like a whole year. Or, days were endless. If you were bored and you had to wait for an hour, it would be like eternity. So yeah, I think perception of time and the perceived amount of time also comes into play. If you feel like you have a whole week, if you have an afternoon and it actually to play a game and it feels like a whole week or a long period of time, it's easier to lose yourself in playing that game. As an adult, you have all these real life distractions. I mean, life becomes pretty complicated, there's mortgages to pay, there's bills to pay, there's relationship issues, family issues, health issues. There's a lot of things that that change your perspective on things, and more, and perhaps even the limitations of the machines or of the games are more obvious than ever before. Games could really be magical back in the day, and depending upon the level of knowledge on technology, things can get pretty mundane. So I think a lot of it has changes because your whole outlook on things changes as you grow older. Actually, there's research that show that the perception of time really changes and is very much correlated to the number of heartbeats you've experienced in your life. So a set amount of time, say an hour, it really feels different and is experienced different by a toddler compared to an adult. So go figure, you know. Is it possible to go back to that same stage as that, you know, same thrilled stage as you were a kid? I don't think it's really possible. And I remember, I actually remember my grandmother when I was a kid. I think I was about 7 or something, perhaps a little older, 8. We were discussing, you know, the secret of life and the passing of time, and how one experiences that. And sometimes I would have these really philosophical discussions with my grandmother, and she actually, I remember that she actually described that she was very aware of time passing more quickly when she grew older. I think she must have been about 60 or something when I had this conversation with her, and she actually described that time really flows through your fingers, and it's harder to grab onto it, hold on to it once you get older. And yeah, and as a child, you really experience it differently. So I think things are more intense. You experience things for the first time more. You know, things are more adventurous, and yeah, that's why we play. You know, as a child, you play to experience, to learn, and I mean, and if you're older, that just changes, you know. And I myself, I'm 42, and I remember that I've like this stupid, not stupid, but this weird memory. I'm just a sponge, you know. I remember a lot, almost everything, and it's hard to filter out. I have a hard time not remembering stuff. So, and what really is, oh my God, I've totally lost. So I have a hard time concentrating despite my memory. What did I want to put forward? It's late. I'm actually on the bed. As a child, you learn by experience, and as an adult, you are not in that mode as much. So playing video games can be actually more of an effort. I believe Retro Gamer VX actually said something along the lines that, you know, trying to beat a boss for like the umpteenth time, you know, gets old. And as a child, it's more intense. You can, you know, I mean, going to school, experiencing things for the first time is really exciting. And when you're in your 20s, you know, you've been there, done that, doing it tomorrow, you know. And in your 30s, it's actually even more. And in your 40s, I mean, yeah. So things do change, and I think the experience of playing video games, the experience of watching movies, it does change. And I think it really takes more of an effort to keep it fresh. And I think it's important to stay true to yourself. Oh man, I'm tongue tired. True to yourself, and actually try to be in that child state at least some of the time to actually experience life more intensely. So anyways, almost 10 minutes. I'm gonna turn this off. And Lawnboyspost1975, great topic, and yeah, this is my response, and I'll be back with another video soon.